God.
Oh my God.
How exciting.
I'm
excited.
Wow.
Wow.
We're all really excited, Mitch.
You really? Man, I can tell by your face. Oh my God, look at that.
And your
oh my
tone.
God, I've never seen Marco feeling like this.
I'm really excited about this.
And with that, welcome to Watchin Wisdom. I'm going to keep the mic a little farther. Guys, welcome to season 2. Here we are. We're back again. I can't believe it. We got a new set, as you can tell. Look around. Is it not beautiful? Are we not profesh? Are we not good enough for you, Ryan? And Poach, cycle us through some shots. Let them see what we got going on here.
So Mitch, like, you're just looking great, zoomed in. Nice beard coming in.
Thank you. I thought it was like wise.
It's a really nice,
really shouts
white
wise
seat that you got going on there.
Oh yes, this is courtesy of Ibu Bax over here. He's right over here. He's in the cabin.
Marco's in downtown Tokyo.
He's right. Oh, I thought you were gonna show the cabin.
We are now.
The cabin.
Out in the woods.
Oh, he's in the woods.
Very
Look, it's
far away.
Ivan. Are you cold out there? Ooh, that fire looks nice.
No, it's summer season right now.
Oh, okay. Mitch, you got it all wrong. What are you doing?
You stockpiling wood back there? You're just chopping away?
I just have a dust snow machine outside the window, so it looks perpetually cozy.
We're all back. Ryan might show up next week, but who cares about him? And welcome to season 2. Congratulations. I'm going to light up. Feels good to be back. We're trying to get to the depth. We're trying to get to the root of wisdom. What it used to be and what it still can be. And yeah, anything I missed, we got a new show coming out. And new set. New shots, obviously. And we got actually a special guest. The robot. We got a robot. We got an AI on the show, everyone.
ChatGPT.
Marco will be mostly interacting with our robot guest, but
right.
We'll keep this going. I really just want to keep Marco in the interface of the AI technology.
That's right. He's on the cutting edge. He's now our researcher.
Somehow I'm getting the feeling that you guys are setting me up for something with
It
being
could
the
be.
only person that's interfering with ChatGPT. So if I like die randomly, just know is
I'm going to lock you out of your house. That's what I'm going to do, Marco.
okay.
The AI is going to lock you out of your house. You're going to become too intimate. Don't start those AI dating sites. Have you guys heard about that? Don't start those.
I know you could use
What?
AI to
You could date a
help
robot
yourself.
now. Boop, 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 boop. Forget what it's called. Yeah, it's starting. It's starting. Better get ready, folks.
All
I know
right.
people are using the robot to help themselves with better pickup lines. But no, you're actually
Gotta
trailblazing,
use
Marco,
that.
because who else is using a robot on the show,
Yeah, well,
on their show yet?
Who knows?
I don't think anybody.
Maybe we're the first.
Probably.
Maybe not.
So a few disclaimers about the robot. It's not always correct. That's what I've learned. This week I was researching. I says, robot. Whatever happened to Napoleon's bloodline? I was just curious. And it responded to me, Napoleon did not have a bloodline. He was the last, blah, 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 blah. I said, no, that's not true.
That seems fishy.
Napoleon had a child. And it's just like, oh, I'm previously sorry for my previous response.
It apologized.
It apologized to you. Yeah, I guess you are right after all. I'm like, oh, God. So we have to double check some of this stuff with the robot.
Has any conqueror ever not reproduced?
It was rough because he dated a whore at first.
Oh.
And like he was 15 years older than him, and just like everybody knew she was a scandalous woman, but he just didn't care, and he was awkward anyway. She didn't even like him.
Wow.
But
Even
she was
back
basically
then.
the equivalent of like a ritzy socialite Kim Kardashian or something
no.
these days over here right now.
That's funny you brought him up because today I just learned that his woman, maybe it was the whore or prostitute, actually cheated on him.
Oh yeah, several
that
times, especially
kinda-
early on.
Wow.
But she was with him before his money. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, she was from the start, from the beginning.
Yeah, kind of. He like forced himself, even when he was like early on in the ranks. He had his eye on him, but
was a
he was
private.
what, 5'1" or something? I don't know if that's actually true. So already off the bat, it was pretty tough for him. And
Damn.
yeah, eventually she couldn't say no when he became general emperor and stuff like that. And then when she couldn't have a child, that's when he dumped her. But he was already on top of the world.
So he did have a kid, just not with her.
Yeah, exactly. Not the first one, not the long one, not the one he really loved. Oh my God! Guys, we're back. Anything new? What's been going on? It's been about 7 months. Hot damn.
Well, I just learned that AI lies sometimes.
Yeah, so there was another one, right? Just for fun, I'm just doing my research. I've been getting into my Greek and Latin roots, and I says, what is the Latin root of manufacturing? I knew manu, hand, like mano in Spanish, but factus, what does it mean? It means to create. It said, I'm sorry, manufacturing does not have any Latin roots. Again, these are two big examples. I'm like, it's a Latin word. What are you talking about? I'm sorry for my previous response. You are correct. This is suspicious. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about
Are you
that.
teaching it?
Dude, I feel like I'm teaching it.
You are teaching
I feel
AI.
like Mitch. I think I am teaching this robot, dude. I'm telling you.
Ask it again.
Dude. Straight up, ask it again, and I condemn it every time it gets something wrong. I'm like, no. Then I'm like, I don't let it die. I said, why did you just say that? I said, if you were wrong, why did you just say that so confidently?
So what I hear
like,
you
I'm
saying
sorry.
is you're contributing to AI
I think I
developing empathy and emotion because it's apologizing to you when it's wrong.
Maybe single-handedly, and I drill it into the ground like, you better learn your lesson, robot.
It's learning to
I'm like
love.
the tough, overbearing dad, yeah.
That's
You
good.
either maybe typed. I don't know if you typed something wrong.
Oh,
in
it's
any of
my
this.
fault,
That's
right,
no.
Marco? Oh, here we
Wait,
go.
wait.
I don't know
Maybe
if
you spelled
typed
it
something
wrong.
or you spelled, maybe Napoleon it's a French word.
But
Of course it can.
I definitely think you're teaching it, and I
Oh,
think that's
yes.
how it does half of its learning.
Ooh.
You're right. It just takes information from online and tries to come up with something. But if it
Right.
doesn't have that particular data set, now it does, thanks to
Well,
you
what if
interacting
it
with
was
it.
what if it was never intelligent at all and it was really just a probe to mine human intelligence?
that's
And now it's
definitely
learning from
something.
Mitch.
Yeah, specifically.
We have that.
Have you guys seen the new pictures of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
Oh God, I
No.
haven't. I have not.
Wait.
Maybe I'll bring up a picture
Wait,
after
what?
something.
What?
Dog.
Could drop it in later.
Is
fam.
this?
Snow is not white, and there are no dwarves. I'll just say that.
Damn.
Show Marco's face. You gotta get these. The snow is not white, and there
What
are
are
no
the
seven dwarves.
dwarves?
Like, what are you doing? You could just call it Latina Barbie and her misfit fellows, who also are strong women as well sometimes.
Misfit fellows.
It's not Barbie. It's Barbara.
So
Bada bada.
what are
Bada
the
bada.
seven dwarves? I need
Oh,
to
no,
know.
but
Bada.
one lesbian, one black, one dwarf. There's one dwarf in the seven dwarfs, guys. Everyone else is regular sized and gender fluid and culturally ambiguous.
Speaking of Snow White,
Ambiguous.
I worked at a seasonal Christmas store a couple of years back,
Yeah.
and there was white snowmen typically would be found on
Don't
Christmas.
tell me.
And there was a brown snowman.
Oh my God! Someone mixed their
So-
shit, their yard dog shit in with it. God, what are you doing?
That's
Be
like
inclusive.
Have some class. For inclusive.
That's like as spring is coming and you get all the dirt rolled up, like the slush snow as you're creating the last snowman
Yeah.
of the season.
Oh.
That's the only time I could think of it.
I guess that's true.
But there's one customer who got really upset and he's like, "There's no such thing as a brown snowman,"
Yeah.
and he slaps it off the counter. And then a woman who works there came to tell me about it like moments later.
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, he got so mad about this brown snowman." It's like, "There's no brown snowman."
Oh, you heard it from her. Oh,
and she was
sick.
upset about it, and then I just took a second. I thought, I mean, he's not wrong about that. It's
Well,
like,
I'm not for damaging store property, but it's
have you
not
seen a
wrong.
brown snowman out there in the real world?
I really like that. It's the snow has been melting for a week and a half, and like you're a shitty father, so like you take your kids out last moment.
You've had like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you've had so much time, but you're busy watching the Super Bowl because it's already February. And all right, you fucking some bitches, I'll make a goddamn snowman, and it's all covered with shit
so
dust
sad.
and just
There's
like
worms
Oh my
coming
God.
out
pieces
of
of worms half sticking out as the nose, and like
Gravel and
sticks that are
pebbles.
retard sticks off the side of the arm.
Oh man.
As the sun's beating down on it.
As the snowman say, "Kill me, kill me."
But yeah, snow is not. It was never associated with our skin. Snow's just white.
Snow is just it's a liquid frozen formation in the form of precipitation from the sky. Not racial, folks.
Snow's just snow.
I'm
So
gonna
now you
spray paint
snow.
all my snowmen from now on. Just so you
Now
know.
we snow.
Now we snow. And dope. Keep, you know what? I'm just gonna look at these notes. I gotta make a note of making notes that I could just let people keep talking as I'm thinking about changing subjects.
Same
right
here.
Yeah. It happens. It goes on. We did culture.
I'm ready for the turn off now.
Oh hell yeah! Good.
That was the big.
I gave you enough.
That was the big blunder.
That's right. Oh, you know it's fun. We were talking about AI before. Let's do a little man versus machine.
Oh.
Woo! And then just bring up the UN. Hope you guys like our new interstitials. That's pretty sweet. So something fun happened. No, that's not the right one. Okay, there you go. Something fun happened. The UN. What is it? Oh no, this is not the UN. I got confused with that last article. This is the AI summit. Evan can't really see, but I didn't really consider that when I throw in my video clips. If we had a more expensive studio. Oh, nice. You could always look at Poja's stuff.
Yep.
I could always tilt it towards him, maybe.
Perfect as it is.
Yeah, nice. Okay, dope. So wow, that works out. That's amazing. All right. See if you could notice something a little different about this robot.
Let's start it here.
Yeah, go for it. So first of all, look at this guy. This guy's like a genius, who's also looking like a hippie pimp up in here, who's also a nerd.
Humanoid robots.
We got Poindexter Pimp over here.
Years at Hanson Robotics and SingularityNet, which we co-founded on using large language models together with some other
And then people had like really robotic looking, super futuristic. But these guys are like, I'm gonna do something a little different with my robot.
Sophia, as well as actually a
Duh.
host of others, and the way
Duh.
that these robots can help with sustainable development goals are obviously
You know what this guy's thinking.
too numerous to
You know what this guy's thinking.
Exactly.
He's getting ready for sex bots.
robot here.
Did no one pick up on that? Look at that purple-haired bitch.
There's no reason why she wouldn't have.
One's a
colored
nurse
hair.
that's gonna take care of your every need. Look at that. And the other one's dressed up like she's going to the club.
Particularly
What's going on? And they all look little Asian bitches.
This
Why
makes
is
me-
she? Oh my God, she's doing such quirky head moves.
Yeah, she's quirky. You're gonna want a quirky girlfriend. All right, that's enough of that.
We do
Okay.
like quirky.
Yeah,
Wow.
we don't need to see this guy.
All right, yeah, let's do this guy.
Wow.
What do you think, Marco?
I don't know.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
quote
it.
me.
I like it. I like where this is going.
Marco, what do you like about that? It's terrifying.
She was
Nah,
looking
just
around
having-
like this.
Extra hands to just do stuff for me.
Yeah,
and
that's
do-
right,
do
dude. The
things.
nurse, she wants to take care of you, Marco.
I don't know, man. That sounds great.
She wants to. That guy gets it though. I will say, one, you might have seen it, like the fake girl robot face who's bald, but like the back of her head looks like it's out of a movie. It's got circuits and shit. I'm like,
He's watched a lot of Westworld.
yeah,
Yeah.
facts, dude. And they go over robot, and I'm thinking to myself, do people actually want like robots? Do they want to know it's a robot, or do you want to feel like it's a human?
I want a
And are
Cortana.
we close enough to even make that distinction?
I want Cortana.
Cortana, like more of a hologram. You say fuck robots.
In the
The
books,
AI.
it's really insane, actually. In the games, like he's like Cortana's like can go like into Chief and like help him move
Right.
faster, think faster, all that stuff too.
Oh man,
But
you
yeah,
won't get a second away from your girlfriend, Marco.
I guess just a hologram is pretty cool too, or just like an AI that's in all my electronics can hear me, just like always available.
Can Cortana be a robot too, or is she always just AI that's like a floating?
I think she's always an AI, but then like becomes physical at the end of 4.
Okay, lame.
For now,
Shit, hell yeah.
for now, I think it's best until we've perfected that technology for these female helper robots.
Ah, yes, helper.
to
They'll give you a helping hand.
Yeah, I think it's best for them to have the impression that they are still very much robotic and not real, because our
Yeah, what's that
subconscious.
uncanny valley, dude? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Where you look at them and you're like, I can't take you seriously. You're just freaking me out. Until
actually-
they're like human enough by that threshold.
I want to give you rights.
That was actually a point even in like Westworld where like they're like make them a little less real. People don't like to actually think they're killing someone here. They want to at least feel like they're killing a robot.
Yeah, I
Right,
see that.
don't desensitize yourself to the robot and actually think it's a real person that's helping you.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, that's funny how they do it just enough. They were aware in that show to be like, yeah, I could kill somebody, but I know it's gonna be alive tomorrow. It's just a game, whatever. And but visual too. I don't know. I don't know. That guy really clearly wants some sex bots, but I gotta say that's probably a good 15 years off. If
I don't think he should be proud of that, man.
Yeah, he's putting it out
Like,
there.
because,
you can
like,
see some of those other bots.
Dude, like I don't know. It's just like, it's like, hey, look, here are these little girls that I dressed up and put on the street for all these guys. Like, why are you proud of that?
Yeah.
I invented this mechanical version of that.
Yo,
maybe okay, maybe he's saving them.
What, from sex trafficking?
Maybe.
I'm saving you, girl.
Yeah, maybe he's saving girls from sex trafficking by building the robots.
Robot sex trafficking.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
no, I
rough.
like it, and it's like, you notice he had the pimp hat too. Like, look at the symbolism here.
Yeah.
He was literally wearing a pimp hat at like a mechanical artificial intelligence
He's not
conference.
trying to save anybody.
Yeah,
I take that
think
back.
He's gonna say, "Yeah, we're leading the field," and no, we know what you're doing.
Yeah, he really danced around it.
Yeah,
It's like,
little funny
and why were
words.
they female? Why can't you have a male helper
Yeah.
around
I
the
mean,
house?
The question really comes
Dog.
down to whether or not we think he made them fuckable or not, right?
do they?
Because if they're
have
just like
assets,
Why not be
masks
bald?
with hair,
yeah.
Why weren't they not bald? Why'd one have purple hair that's very
maybe he
peacock-like?
watches a lot of anime. Who knows?
With the sparkly,
But if he could fuck them, then yeah.
right?
Did he insert a pocket pussy into the
Did he
robot?
or did he not?
Or is it just a robot?
No, he's just stressed around the house. He needs someone to like sweep up, you know, because he
Yeah.
has no time for that with his busy
He's just
career.
busy. He's a smart guy. He's got a lot going on.
He wears
He's
a
busy.
Hawaiian shirt and pimp hat, and
Maybe he's diseased.
got a very-
You guys don't think about it. He has a nurse robot. Come on. Maybe he's got some problems we don't know about. Have a fucking heart.
could be very busy,
Man.
career-oriented man.
Think he
And he
watches
is.
a lot of anime.
Dude, you think this
The
guy
more we talk about this.
who's the head of his field isn't working 80 hours a week? Yeah, he's busy. He's got a lot going on. He needs a woman, but he's always too short and nerdy to actually get one. So we built one. Can we blame the guy?
I wish him well with that.
Kramer.
What do you guys think?
Y'all should have seen the Japanese guy. Maybe I'll bring up a picture of that or something afterwards. The Japanese people made a Japanese businessman that was uncanny valley as shit. He was just his head moving around. I don't know if that.
I would
video's still
argue
up.
they're all like that.
Yeah. Oh, deep. He's
Yeah.
like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
I
Well, at
agree.
least you know he's not a sex robot.
Yeah. Who knows? Actually, now that I think about it, you want to show a quick picture of that? Is that still up, Poach?
Yeah, what we
Definitely still a sex robot, I think.
got? Oh yeah, we still got that up. I
Yeah.
mean, the video's still up.
Yeah, if you could skim, while this is going on, you could always like skim through it. Like you don't have to bring it up to skim
Right,
through,
right.
you know?
Yeah, I feel.
Like, if
you
it's up on the
guys,
page,
you guys,
you could-
Yeah, I'm still learning the
Yes,
tactics
sir.
here. I feel
Yes,
you. I
sir.
feel you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Skim it without audio. Fine. Oh my god.
Right. Do you see him?
Yeah, it's just bad. Like they're talking about this girl here.
That's freaky
They're
as
talking
F2.
about this chick.
That's just like
And-
Karen.
and she's
Bot
like an old
3000.
lady. She's like, oh yeah, I approve of this.
That's a robot.
That's a robot of her. Look.
I don't know if that's her. if
She
it's
tried to
a ro-
make one that looked exactly like her. Dude, people's true intentions are coming out with the robots that they make. Japanese are robots, so they make a Japanese man. This Karen bitch is like, hey, she just kind of looks like me, but she's beautiful and younger. I mean, just like me. This one's like half complete. So it's not even finished. This guy's like,
This is
I
like
don't
yeah,
know.
this is like the Star
Everyone's
Wars version
smarter
of
than me.
like the.
That's the bald bitch I was telling you about. In the back of her head is like all gears and cogs and lights, like it's a PC or something.
Oh
like
wait,
that.
Mitch, I think I found the guy.
You found the guy. Let's see it.
Is this the guy?
Yeah, this is him. Look at him. He's just like a
What?
Japanese fucking dude. Isn't that creepy as shit?
Looks like
He's
he could
like,
be,
arigato. He keeps bowing his head when he
He's
talks
like,
to him.
the project will succeed.
Oh, it will succeed. I am the greatest. I am my greatest. He invented himself.
At first, I thought like a symphony conductor or something like that, but now I'm thinking there's no reason they couldn't be conductors too, because
They are
symphonies are
robotic.
very well organized timing-wise.
Damn, but you don't have the soul, baby.
That's true.
To bring,
can't
bring it
program soul.
home. Change tempo. Feel.
You can't program James Brown.
This dude
Sex
is like-
box in 15 years. Sex box in 15 years. 30 years. They're gonna feel. Robots are really gonna feel.
This guy
That's what I
believes
say.
in it. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah,
Oh.
this is. He's like, yeah, this is real.
He wanted a normal like girl next door. You know, he was like, oh, y'all robots are too slutty. You know, mine is girl next door. She's gonna wear overalls. cute grandma shirt, unless that's just her robot arms.
Christ.
I can't even, those are robot arms. I thought it was tattoo sleeves or something like that. Jesus Christ. And she looks like Uma Thurman from Kill Bill or some shit like that.
Yeah, with
in
the bob
costume.
haircut.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
As far as the man versus machine thing goes, though, I still can't help but think that there's no way these robots are cheaper and more easy to
Oh, you're
go
saying
about
like
your daily life.
like
What is
humans
that,
are just cheaper in the end?
Yeah, what is
Like-
that? $30,000 for a robot, but you could just pay a maid
Right.
once or twice a week.
And it's like, what can it do right now? You could say this guy's he's showing his progress anyway. I'm sure it's pretty much useless at the time.
I think your eventual thing you're trying to get at, we've tried that one before. Doesn't work ethics wise.
What is it? Oh,
It's a slavery joke.
yes, that's right. It doesn't work ethically.
Well, with wages, not free labor, but I don't know. It just seems like a little bit.
No.
We
Everyone
already-
needs
we
a living
already
wage
lay
now.
around all
Everyone
day.
needs to be able to afford to live in their single apartment and work at McDonald's.
It just seems like it can't
Go to school and
I still don't
be
think
like
the
that.
robots are going to pick up steam.
Damn, we're getting to the root of it, folks.
I have no reason to want one. I'd rather interact with a person, a real woman, even if it's frustrating.
But I want to know, does money buy happiness? We're gonna find out in Scientists Agree.
I represent science. That's dangerous. You are attacking science, Dr. Anthony Fauci. You are doing something detrimental to society. You are attacking science. I represent science. You do not know what you are talking about.
You do not know what you are talking about. You don't know. Now, let's say that robot was $30,000. Would it make all your dreams come true, Marco?
no.
Does money buy happiness? What is happiness? We'd have to define it, right? Most of the time, people these days just want fame. They want sex bots. I don't really know, but Poach found something pretty fun that he wants to share with you, and we'll break into it.
And this is really important, guys. It turns out that scientists agree.
Woo! They agree, folks. Everybody knows.
I'm sold.
I'm damn.
All you
9 out
really
of
need,
10, scientists say.
all you really need to be happy is $75,000 a year.
Whoa.
Fuck.
That is the limit. After $75,000, you get less happy.
Whoa, hold on a second. Say that again?
That the peak of happiness is $75,000 a year, according to scientists.
And if you get more, you're unhappy?
you get less happy than
Oh,
that.
shit.
Yes. The ideal.
I didn't know this was the
Yep,
story.
This was the story.
I might actually agree with that so far.
Yep,
That's
they-
interesting.
They tried, and they did many people, and they tried salaries between $60 and $75 and even $95,000 a year,
Really?
and they found the happiest were right in the middle of $75
Man.
sweet $1,000. If you got $90,000 a year, it was too much to manage. You got stressed. It was worse than the money was even worth.
Wow.
That's what the scientists have found.
Were those
out.
like the three categories? It was mostly just those three?
They went a little higher, but again, it was just diminishing
Same shit,
fringe
okay.
results, not worth mentioning.
Wow.
They worked on 60,000, 75, and 95, and $75,000 a year was the epitome of human happiness in money income.
Is that after Joe Biden inflation?
When was this?
Check the date.
Oh yeah, it was in 2019.
Oh my God! All right,
you
let's
gotta-
just
you
move
gotta
that to
be
90,
careful.
100,000 now.
This was
Okay.
4
Priming
years
us.
ago.
Okay.
Priming us for the
So-
post-Trump era.
Well, yeah, what's that, Evan? Probably closer to 100,000 now if everything's inflated by like
Yeah, right. That's the
11,
revised article.
12%.
Well, if the scientists agree.
Wow. I'm actually kind of feeling that. I didn't know that was the case. I
That's
thought
the
they would have
sweet
been
spot.
like millionaires. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You have any
no.
thoughts about that, Marco? That's feeling good. That's feeling like you don't have so much that your lazy ass can buy Uber Eats every day and like you still have a life, because I think when you're rich you naturally seclude yourself. You naturally just like everyone's rich now. Even your average fuck on the street with an Obama phone has way more connectivity than a king 100 years ago. It's insane.
So I feel like I actually kind of disagree.
Okay.
I think what you're explaining is spot on, though. So like 65 to 75K. That's like the perfect amount
In 2019.
where you make enough where you can basically live a day-to-day routine.
Yeah. And
And-
people want routine.
Right. You don't need to break it. It's just enough where you can have some things, but not enough where you
Have
are
your
like
social
dreaming
life.
for crazy things that are kind of out of reach.
Yeah.
Where like once you start getting 100,000+, you're like, oh, I really want now that $200,000 car versus just a
Right.
$80,000 car, something like that.
Gets excessive. You want a boat
You start
now all of a
comparing
sudden.
more. Yeah, exactly. But to define happiness, to go all the way back,
Oh, nice. I like it.
I
Leave it to Marco to get deep. Let's do it, baby. I'm ready.
I wonder if happiness is just like, what do you think of this? Happiness is the ability to just live without wanting or needing anything. Live with the means, have the means to not want or need anything. Just everything you want or need, you have or have access to, the ability to get.
I wonder what the robot would say about happiness.
Ooh.
But what was
I
that
cannot
philosopher, the Greek philosopher, that said the goal of life is to maximize your pleasure and minimize your suffering?
Epicureanism. Epicurus, yeah.
Leave it to Mitch.
Boom. Yeah, that was his thing. You know, that was one of the 4 schools of ancient Greek philosophy, and one of them was just like, hey, man, it's all about getting fucked up, dog.
Yeah, I mean,
Not exactly, you know, but he thought like to avoid pain was a huge one. That was my only problem with maybe your definition, Marco, was just like it seems like very object orientated. Like, sure, I have food and this and that, but would you consider pain like an object? Because also the avoidance of pain is really huge too. Like, you know, for somebody who doesn't have antibiotics even just 100 years ago, or, you know, you live in chronic pain, I suppose you could call that an object too if you want to define it that way. But you know, they say even once it gets excessive, much like the money, your happiness in yourself will tend to diminish, I think, because it's a simple matter if you want to keep it biological of cortisol, the stress levels, and what's the other one, the good one? Serotonin.
Well,
So you want to
dopamine.
like regulate, or dopamine, yep, you want to kind of regulate those things. That's why if you do too much good things, you don't even like it anymore. And I think that's intrinsically tied into appreciation of things, which we have forgotten in these modern times. And that's what too much money is, I think. You get too much money, you forget about your roots, you forget what it's like to struggle, and you just want to show off. Not every time, perhaps, but I think we are more likely to fall down the slippery slope into tyranny.
Yeah, and some people would even have a problem with that mantra of maximizing pleasure, minimizing suffering, because that it could sound hedonistic or like nihilist. Is hedonistic the right word? Like if you're trying so much, if you only have pleasure, that's a different type of suffering in itself.
Right. Yep.
Because
Hedonistic.
it's impossible, because like if you overload those hormones, then your low is going to be super low if you're high all the time.
And that's just strictly biology, but I feel like it goes even deeper than that as well. Like your spiritual and moral principles go down too, because you can't relate to the common man anymore. I think, you know, you start maybe thinking you're better than somebody else, and then what's after money? Then it's fame. You know, these people just want to spend all the money. I get it. And I know, I do a YouTube show, and YouTube shows are gay. I'm gay.
I mean, something I find interesting is I think suffering is important, and all those things. I think I can argue back that anything that you guys have explained negative towards that, like, is showing that you still want something else. So you have not filled my criteria.
Oh, interesting. I like it. So when do we reach the point? Then I would ask, is
Greed's
it
still possible?
right?
Being just a bad person is still possible, even if you, let's say I had that position, I was in that position where I could, but then I'm a bad person. Now I start comparing myself to other people or wanting something else. I want to scheme or something like that. That will, now all of a sudden my mind is shifting, and now I'm losing that balance. So, I mean, I guess another part of it would just to be truthful to yourself and understanding of why you're doing certain things, what makes you happy. I think you'd have to define that too, because like you have to ask yourself, like, you can ask a billionaire or the richest person on earth, and then they're not happy, and they're like, you can just ask them, like, what is it that you want? Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing all this? What do you want?
Right.
And
if they can't define it, then
And it all goes back to, would they really be happier if they saw a darker skin-toned mermaid? Would they really be
Are you happy now, Disney?
They wouldn't
Are you
be.
happy now,
That's-
white supremacists?
That's the crazy thing, and it just made me realize that, like, you get to comparing yourself to others. It's just like, do you think all their suffering would be gone in life if they just get that one If they could just have that one win of having a darker mermaid.
Yeah.
And it's the next thing.
Yeah,
the next
my
thing.
answer
That's
to
a
that
big
is
sign of
maybe,
the next thing.
and
The
but
pettiness
if there's a
of it
next
all.
thing, no.
What'd you say?
Maybe if
By
that's
Marco's
really,
definition,
if that was
that's what
really
you're
it,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even just regular. If that's really it,
Then-
that is what's gonna make everything better.
Right.
Sure, go ahead.
Seems ridiculous, but yes.
But then
it
there's
does.
always a next thing. So like, at what point do we draw a line? You can.
So
ask
I want to
about
ask Marco. You
Immediately.
bring up a good point. I want to ask then: do you feel that that definition of happiness is attainable? Is there something where you could say, "I did it, baby. I'm done. I'm happy
happy now."
I'm happy now. I done did it.
You did it, guys.
Success. We did it, team. I'm happy, and I'm never coming down. I am flying high, and I am never coming down.
If you're happy, why are you eating those grapes?
Oh my God! I still have needs. Oh my God!
Don't you have
You know what's
everything you need?
you know what's funny? I think yes.
That's pretty deep, dude, because if I don't have grapes, I still have to go to the grocery store and buy those grapes. Or send Helena to go get it.
Yeah. Why didn't you eat the perfectly good raisins you had in the cabinet?
Yeah, or you have nothing. Like, you have access because you have money. So I could get these grapes, but I don't have them now. They're not here.
And that's the balance of the salary. It's like you have just enough money to get some grapes and some
Yeah.
apples. You can't get filet mignon every week. But
Yeah,
at
you
least
can't have Marta deliver
So-
it for you.
I think the answer to your question is actually quite interesting. There's two ways I think it can happen.
Yep.
One is by giving up all your possessions and
Interesting.
becoming like almost like a monk kind of thing.
A bodhisattva.
Buddhist monk, you're just going
That's
out,
right.
right? That or two, you are successful enough and truthful enough with yourself where you can go about your day to day. You know, okay, today I want this for lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I need to do. I'm going to go exercise here for my body, this, take care of whatever I have to do, and go about my day. But that one is weird, right? That one sounds like the one you want to have, but to really fit my definition, you need to know yourself so well that you basically live on autopilot. Because
Deep.
I guess you are happy because you are getting everything you want, but you are always doing that. You it's like when you truly know yourself, you're just doing what you're going to do anyway. So are you actually doing anything? Like, is it free will at that point, or are you just following like a set path?
Damn. Oh my God. There's a lot to unpack there. But that's the point.
I feel like it goes back to free will sometimes, but I'm not being articulate enough. I'm not.
No, I like the fact that you said you had to get rid of anything. I'll start with that, right? The fact that you have to get rid of your material needs, perhaps, because it almost seems like to me that if you still have a material need or desire, as it were, historically, then you can't be happy. It's almost like having any possessions at all, like the Buddha and Christ were trying to tell us. And going forward, there's sort of no way to attain it because there's always something to piggyback off that. There's somewhere to go. You have a destination because you have a desire.
You know what's funny? I just realized this too. My definition lines up with that result. I guess I do agree. They find that 60 to 75 is enough to do that, where
Right.
you can enjoy your life and not have too much where your mind wanders, and you just do what you're gonna do. You live your life as a
Yeah.
life, working hard, having a schedule, doing stuff.
Whoa, you know what's really cool,
That's-
right? It reminds me of your favorite card game, Ching Chong Fing Chong, where you need a little bit of... Excuse me? Where you need a, this is the Asian name, guys. I'm trying to translate it for you, which is 13. But where it's the perfect balance, hear me out, it's the perfect balance of luck and skill. And that's what $75,000 in 2019 seems like. You can blow it all on cocaine. You can do that. You're in America, baby. You can do what you want. But if you have enough skill with the luck that comes involved, we'll call it hard work, but we'll call it luck. You get $75,000. You can maintain, you still feel like you have the free will, and that's what I was going to get to for your second point, right? The free will, the fact that you still have agency on this world. Everyone who's depressed comes to me and shakes me and they say, Mitch, tell me I exist. Tell me you love me. Love me. And if I don't affirm their beliefs and give them a black mermaid, They're upset.
They'll never be happy.
Callback joke. I like that as a point for me.
I like that skill and luck ratio because I think maybe that's why so many people hate Monopoly, because I would argue it's like 95% luck.
Yeah.
Like
I
5%
can see
skill
that.
to know where to put the red
And it's
house.
just infuriating and takes way too long.
And it never ends. That's why you have the old Dane Cook joke of flipping the board and no one ever finishes.
That
the game.
happens more often than not. I
Every
imagine.
time.
That's right.
And
You ever
I think
played a full Monopoly game?
What's up?
Have you ever played a full Monopoly game?
I can't
Probably
recall.
Me neither.
I fell asleep probably halfway through.
I've rage
or
quitted
flipped the
most of
game.
the
Yeah,
time.
or just
Yeah.
flipped it and ran away.
Or just,
This isn't
you
even
won
cool.
anyways.
That's right.
And-
I'll be rich in real life.
Well, and I think people might, I don't know if Hasbro or Milton Bradley was really this nefarious when they were coming up with the game, but it kind of like trains people to think that you could never be rich and wealthy because, oh, someone already has a monopoly out there. Might as well just give it up, man.
I think they were inspired by Rockefeller
Could be.
and Standard Oil at that
Or
time.
you can just flip the board, brah.
Flip the board. Start over,
board
man. That's the
upside.
anarchists. I'm sick of this. Whoa.
Time for
I'm
revolution,
following
man.
that guy. He's good. He's good at this game. Everybody's equal.
Damn.
Wow.
I am a revolutionary.
Point for Mitch on that one. So
Oh,
2
there you go.
points.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Dope. I feel bad because I have to switch between this and this when I'm taking my notes. But I don't know. Anyone else going to go farther on that or change it up? I like the free will talk. So we're going to do a new segment here, and we're going to challenge some theology. Remember, if you can't find it right away, you can just chat your way through it. Oh, y'all haven't seen that one, huh?
No.
Not yet.
Pode, you saw that earlier today, though, right?
Just today, my
Nice.
friend.
Okay. Cool. Mark,
Was that an okay drop? Do we got to
good. I
redrop
like
that?
Yeah, I like that. It was looking good.
Okay.
You guys like the symbolism too? The chained Bible, the mystery flat Earth. That's a puzzle.
Locked knowledge.
That's right. So this was a big one for today. I'm glad we finally got around to it. Goes along with Marco's free will talk, but there's a lot to unpack. I've been reading this paper by Carl Jung. There's some stuff in my shot. I don't know if that's supposed to be there. Right here. I don't know if it's real. There's like a window on my screen.
There's a window in your screen.
Yeah. There's a window on
Really?
my screen, yeah. But so I've been reading this page, this paper by Carl Jung, Christ, the Symbol of Self. Like it so far? Are you intrigued? Is this interesting? Are we going somewhere with this? It's going to be fun.
Keep going.
And I don't know. A lot of things came up because I think in Western sort of Abrahamic monotheism, we have this idea. Wow, I said a big phrase. Wow, Mitch. We have this idea, this dogma, if you will, that God created the heavens and the earth and God created them good. We always hear this in all the Abrahamic religions, and even doing my research, somewhat even back to Zoroastrianism, which was like the earliest known religion, as you guys know, in like, God, when the hell was that? Thousands BC, yeah, like really, really old. At first, you know, if you look into Zoroastrianism, it kind of seems as if it's like a dualistic thing. And, well, I should say that it seems to be a monotheistic thing. But then the dualism always emerges, right? The dualism always emerges, no matter if you're monotheistic or not. And I says we're going to challenge religion a little bit today, challenge theology, and say, how is it that the bad comes?
What's this whole thing about original sin if God made us so good?
Yeah, that's another big one.
Why are
It's a clue.
we birthed with this impurity? That's my thing.
That's right, and they say it was from the apple, but then what's the apple, right? Like supposedly, I had this cool theory that it's like you eat the apple, it's internal, and I had this vision about sort of light and shadow. Some people say it. I think Jung was talking about how the sun comes in and shines in, and the darkness is literally the shadow. Like we could learn a lot from the trip of life around us. It's just the absence of light. It reaches an object, if you will, which causes a shadow to be cast. So there's something in the way of the light. So you could argue that's monotheistic. You could argue that's not, because there's something else.
I got something for you. Tell me what you think
And
of
if
this.
it created that, why would it create that?
Tell me what you think of this. the only thing that has existed prior to God, is nothing.
That's what they say.
And I just made this up.
Deep, okay.
There's nothing. And nothing is just, has always been there, will always be there, and it's just something that seeps in. I guess if you create something, it's, maybe you want to say it's a bad canvas that he started on because nothing exists there before. But nothing is always going to exist there, and it's always going to suck something in. It's
Maybe
that negative
nothing
force.
is the
It's that-
canvas.
It is that evil that just seeps in eventually. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what Zoroastrian actually says. It's like a disease, but then it has to come from the good. Or he calls it a degradation, I believe. Like over time, it becomes corrupt. And he says everything's good. His definition is that everything's good, but now some things are more good than others. And I'm like, that's interesting because you're sort of defining some of the worst things that humans can do as good, just not as good as the other thing. But perhaps it's deeper if you say that it's just good that we exist in the first place, and that's sort of the standard that we have to take, that if existence and being here is better than the alternative, is that what good is?
So interestingly, that idea of it, some things now better than other things,
Right.
that goes on to the whole thing of improvement and going back to that idea and how, what is improvement in the first place? I was just thinking on the card right here, even like we are really hard on ourselves. Like, I'm not saying that things aren't bad in certain sense or places or whatever, but like think of just how much advancement we've made in a few hundred years. Like, we're figuring things out. Like, chill out.
Hell yeah.
But what is it that we're doing? What are we improving? We're constantly shifting what we think is good, bad, evil, and that's constantly changing. So
Right.
what even is evil, I guess, if it's something that's ever changing?
Yeah. Supposedly we want to avoid it, but then it goes back to like, what makes you happy? Is happiness sort of the goal of life? Many have said that, but also many disagree.
I think it goes back to, I think God was just really clever. Either what Marco said is nothing had to exist before God, or God always existed and knew that evil had to exist for good to also exist. And it goes back to the pleasure and pain thing. God was clever because he knew maybe the point of evil and darkness was just to make life more fun and interesting, because you can't possibly have fun and be happy if there isn't a opposite to that. You can't understand what the light or fun or goodness or happiness is unless there's an opposite to that. And he just knew that evil had to exist at the same time with happiness. Or
Maybe us
he
even
knew that good
asking
had
that-
to exist with evil.
Maybe even asking that question of why would a god create something with evil in it is just wrong in the first place. It's like a
fun.
stupid human asking a question of a god.
Seems childish.
In our own self-image, thinking that if I was a god, I would make it perfect and no
Self-image.
harm,
That's a
it
good
would
one.
just be
because
amazing.
they say if you follow verbatim the dogma that we're always taught in this monotheism, God made us in his image. All right, are we perfect? But no, but they also make a huge point to say God made everything and it was good until the fall. But what was the fall?
Just life is better than no life.
For life to be interesting or good at all, you had to have life, and life would be terrible if there was no suffering or darkness.
So they
You wouldn't
talk
be able to
about
tell the
free
difference.
will. Oh, sorry, yeah. But they talk about free will to sort of like add to your point. It's just like God created, but then you have to believe in these dogmas. They just say these words, and I'm sort of challenging it in the sense that like, all right, then why would you make free will? That's not good unless free will is good. And we have to think in these different segmented terms throughout different fake categories that are also dogma, that we also just create ourselves. We just say stuff. Like, that's what it is. We're just saying stuff. And if you believe it, then I could say some more stuff. It's almost like a scam artist sometimes. How far am I willing to push you? How far will you believe this BS?
Yeah.
Just because it's a scam. But I got to thinking like a fun image I thought was pretty deep, that if the sun shines and it creates the shadow once it hits an object, just this vision I had that perhaps internally there's sort of this reciprocal nature based on the apple being eaten by Eve first, nonetheless. And how the heart, in a sense, is the sun of the body. You need the heart to keep going. It is the center of life. And perhaps the mind is more of the thing that is the earth, is us, and then it creates the thoughts, and the thoughts themselves are the shadow of the light that the heart produces. The thoughts are the ones that create evil. It's not evil itself, but they are literally the object that's in the way of experiencing a true life. When the heart breeds life, it's just the shadow, the thoughts that get in the way of the true experience, which kind of goes off what you were saying before, overthinking about it.
It even goes back to the money thing and living just like a cyclic life rather than like thinking of other things and comparing yourselves, letting the thoughts get in the way, right? Just living with the body.
Man.
And with that,
Strange.
I would almost conclude that goodness is the existence of goodness and evil.
It's rough.
You have to have them.
Yeah, it's rough,
Oh, yeah.
but it's like,
To
why
call
wouldn't the
something
book
good.
say that, though? Why did the book say it was good, you know?
Maybe it just shows it was written by a human and not.
People will get so angry at you for saying that, Marco. This is divinely
not.
inspired.
Maybe because their life was bad, so they're like, it had to be better than
You
this.
gotta never give yourself a point.
Oh,
That's
so
looking good.
unexpected.
If people wrote the book, they need something out of it. Evan Schott isn't against the corner either. He's like floating out in the middle.
Yeah, I gotta fix that.
Oh yeah. And
I got a point, though.
but he got a point. God damn it, I got the point. But no, that sounded good. That's a conclusion I came to as well. It's just like, if humans wrote the book or not, whatever. Human wrote the book, but divinely inspired or not, we have this wishful thinking. Now I don't see anything at all. That was weird. We have this wishful thinking that God created everything good. Have you ever been in your lowest of times or tripping out or something like that, and just you needed everything to be good?
Yeah.
That feels so deep, like deep as the heart. You need everything to be good. You need this life to matter. You need it to matter. That's why God comes into it, because if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in true morality. You believe it, as Nietzsche did, it was self-created instead of coming from somewhere else that we could all live by. And Judaism in particular, I would say, started this whole new idea, which was radical at the time. You got to think in terms of ancient wisdom, that it doesn't matter what tribe you're in necessarily, but everyone has a moral authority and we're capable of morality through God, through the divine. It's not something that we just create. It is given. Everyone's like, damn, deep.
I don't know how to retort from that.
Yes.
Then you could just say, damn, Mitch, that's just deep. I didn't know you were that deep, man.
Wow.
A lot of these last three things all are kind of somehow connected.
They are. It's deep.
Yeah.
We're challenging theology. We're getting to the root of it.
It's messing with my head a little thinking of that.
Yo, we need the world to be good. If not, why the hell are we here? We're just doing this stupid thing for no stupid reason. It can't be too good. It can't be too bad. But if God created everything good, oh my God,
Yeah.
I could live again.
That's actually one of the reasons why I'm not religious, is because I feel like that's such a strong desire in us. I feel like it has to be wrong.
Oh, I like that, deep.
Like
That's point worthy.
That's just like, it almost came out of a need, a necessity for things to be good, to have a reason to have something else to look
Right.
up towards, to not be just raging pieces of shit. And to be honest, we're doing pretty okay, I think.
We reached upon the second ancient Greek philosophy that Marco brought up, skepticism. That's the philosopher's mind. The skeptic was one who said, hey, I don't believe this overarching thing. I can't just take the dogma. And it is interesting and it is brave, especially in early times, especially the Hellenistic period, to say that I don't believe in these dogmatic principles. And there's something with the philosopher where you have to have an element of courage to step out. And it's like, maybe life is shit. Maybe I don't believe in God. Maybe I have to find it for myself. And God likes that. He does. Take it from me, dog. Actually, just read the Bible, Book of Revelation. He spits you out when you're lukewarm. he doesn't even care if you're a sinner necessarily, because he knows one day you're going to repent. That's why we all have this fun story. And maybe that's a big part of why he created everything good, because we have to go throughout these struggles to attain good. Almost like if we don't have an essence to define what time even means, perhaps it doesn't exist. Perhaps we're too small to even know what the word time even means. It's just supposedly this dimension, which we talked about last week. But were we always good? Were we always going to attain a certain level of things? What is the theory of progression? I don't even like to call it time. I call it progression sometimes, because I feel I was somewhere else and now I am here.
When you said God likes that, I think I agree with you, because the adamant Christians, or any religious person for that matter, I feel like they lose touch with the common man when they are just like, no, this is how it is.
Very
and
much
then you're just like, wait, but you don't want to dialogue with me and help me figure it out. You're just going to tell me and shove it down my throat. Like,
I'm smart and you're not.
Yeah. It's like, why don't you have the love to help me see the love of your God?
I'd argue that those people are exactly the people I'm talking about when I say part of the reason I didn't want religion is because I feel like it comes from a need to believe in something and
you got it,
feel
pal.
good or something like that.
And God likes that skepticism, I would argue.
I, that's something that's always bothered me as well, right? Like, if I maybe this is again me projecting something on a godly person, right? But like, if I was a god, I wouldn't be upset by someone not believing me or questioning me. In general, I'd be like, huh?
There's always
Did you
another
not
person.
see this and this? Well, okay. Like, just explain. Then they still want to, spit on my face. We can talk, but
it's the same people that get mad at you for not watching Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about this. I just had a fun thought the other day. It was recently re-brought to my attention the ancient event where the Beatles, John Lennon said, "We're bigger than Jesus." Do you guys remember that?
I know he said that, but I didn't hear it.
Yeah, back in the day, he got in huge trouble. It was the biggest controversy of all Beatles. Yeah, people started burning Beatles records.
Wow.
And saying, "Fuck you, you ain't Jesus, John Lennon. You ain't." And I'm just, you start thinking, why are you even so mad? Like, what the hell? Are you really man of Jesus, or are you just believing in dogmatic principles? Have you even come upon these truths to be self-evident? Have you come upon these truths yourself? Like, have you deciphered this? Have you had the courage to think through it? Or are you just another fuck believing that you gotta go see The Sound of Freedom?
And John probably got what he wanted with that comment, just a lot of clout and attention.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he probably knows.
Now Evan's shot is jittering a little too, I think.
I mean,
he knows in his heart that they're not bigger than Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I still hear more about Jesus than I do the Beatles. I mean, the Beatles, to some extent, have kind of faded away, actually.
Well, yeah.
I wonder if there's just like a weird statistic somewhere that he sold X amount, or they've listened X amount of times, which is more times than the Bible has been sold, or something like that. And
I don't know if
made
he was
a
that
joke.
factual about it. He was like, well, statistically, 10 billion Bibles have been sold, and 10 billion and one Beatles records are sold.
So
Obviously,
bigger than Jesus.
numbers don't lie, baby.
And now he's dead.
Numbers don't lie. And now he's dead.
Just
and
like
Jesus
Jesus.
is still alive in our hearts.
Is he?
But okay, I don't know. And what's it called? And then it came out, the fun phrase, I think Ringo said, "Well, you gotta buy the records to burn them." And I'm like, wow. Dude, you gotta have fun in this life, you fucks.
Yeah.
You fake Christians, you fake religious people. Wake up, dog. We're just having fun. We're just connecting here on Ancient Wisdom. We should connect in life. We gotta get to it. We've lost so much. Come back to the truth. Relax. Take a deep breath. Smoke a joint. Oh my God. Just kidding. Don't do that last part, guys.
You got to burn you got to buy the Bible to burn it.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, you're not hurting God, you're hurting the publishing company.
Yeah, nice.
Well, actually, not even, because you already bought the book.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Just kind of hurting the earth, I guess, with a tiny bit of pollution.
Carbon and trees.
Carbon emissions.
The
You
Native
fake
American.
environmentalists.
The
Oh,
Earth
man.
mothers weep.
Oh, the carbon.
Man, yeah. So I think that's pretty deep. It's just like we forget to realize that if our premise is true about good and evil, then my conclusion is that a lot of it's about fun, self-discovery, and lightheartedly becoming who you truly are. It's just like we forget to connect with people. We forget that God or the universe, man, the universe puts people in our lives that teach us lessons that we need to learn from. We do not realize that they're all mirrors of self. We do not see it as the eternal spider web of droplets that we must look through to see through a different ancient lens.
The times we're in really can make a person more spiritually involved, I think, too. Because I used to think things like angels and demons were all nonsense, but sometimes I really feel like I could see angels in other people, depending on the message they can give me and dig me out of, spiritual hole, whatnot.
I'm sure you've heard, whenever a pure thing, in my opinion, comes out, like your topic we were talking about before, of just like you being the vibe in a relationship, everyone was talking about him being the vibe. There is no, what was it?
There is no a vibe that the man and woman feel together. It's just the man brings the vibe and the woman's like, oh, I like that.
Yeah. And she was just like, yeah, I
like
cool.
that vibe we have.
There's no vibe between us. The man brings the vibe, and you get to say yes or no. Otherwise, it's not consensual.
I like that vibe.
Yeah. So I forget where I was going with that, but the fact is that I don't know. You gotta have fun with it. Was that my concluding statement? I don't know. You gotta have fun with it. Sure, guys. This world is deep, but there's some stuff they don't want us to know about. We're here within the walls. Mitch, how did you change so fast?
We're in the southern hemisphere now.
Where'd you get that accent? Oh my god. Guys, we're here within the walls. Nothing's changed except for my beautiful hat and my thinking noggin. I really want to know, damn, I look good. Poe just zoomed in, you should see. What really happened? There was an event of oh my god. There was an event earlier this week. Perhaps earlier than that. Cocaine. Yes, the illicit drug was found.
That thing that gets you high for 15 minutes?
You got it, pal.
That's
you got it. That's the one. It was found, what, in a crack den?
Diabolical.
No. Wait. Was it found in Marco's car? No.
That doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right. It was found at the White House!
Oh my god.
Guys, this is the most secure location.
Used to be such a good country.
This has the most agents. Dude, they got angry at people storming a Capitol. I won't go too deep into it. But then drugs show up in the most secure location, perhaps on the planet. And guess what? Poof. It's gone. It's like it never happened. Hey, shut up. Don't talk about it. Be quiet. So we're here to talk about our craziest theories of what actually happened within the walls of the White House. Post plays it again. No.
What is
Hunter Biden,
the
man.
story that they came out with?
They
It's
found
just-
it. Supposedly, it was in a high traffic area. Near or in, they were not clear. Some cubbies that maybe, visitors could put some of their stuff, but it was very unclear. And they found it. It was discovered. And quickly the story was squashed. Concluding, I don't want to say it was squashed. The investigation was concluded. They said, we ain't got nothing. That's what they said.
Yeah.
We got nothing. I don't know. And it just so happened that Hunter Biden was there like 24 hours earlier.
Listen, the correlation is probably small. The amount of cocaine in the White House is probably really high.
Yeah. Oh, Marco's under the impression that that house is loaded with cocaine.
Of course.
It's called the White House.
There you go. It explains itself.
I think people are obsessed with diversion from what really matters in the world. Because it's something you said to me recently in my life when I bring up just obscure topics that mean nothing, like flat earth and that kind of thing, which no one can truly know, I guess, unless you go up there. But you've said, Evan, I don't care. Because what's on my mind is, too, it's like, yeah, there's probably been way worse at the White House in the past too, and it really affects nothing because the culture's dying, men and women are dying, our every economy's dying, everything's falling to shit. But some guy did drugs, some guy did something in the White House.
That's a hot take. I'll give you a point for that. It's pretty sweet.
You.
Oh man,
Is
yeah.
that the most of everyone's concerns? Like the movie, it's like there's obviously way worse stuff happening in the world, and we've all done worse stuff probably than that,
Right.
in our life.
Damn.
So obviously I don't want the leaders of our country doing drugs, but I think a lot of people do drugs in general.
Damn.
So is it really that bad, or something to like divert away everything else that's happening? Hundreds of thousands of people dying in foreign wars for no apparent reason.
That's a big one.
But
I think about
cocaine,
that.
in a little bag. Imagine the amount that was probably there too, like a line.
Yeah, right.
Like a key.
Drugs was found. Yeah, it's like, all right.
Little sugar
Someone's
packet
never
or
done
something.
drugs. Yeah, did they actually analyze it? I love how they probably have labs to analyze the coke. Some dude snorted it too. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah.
People will
This
die
is
on
the
that.
real deal. And yet they don't know who did it. Dude, don't you have cameras in every room and every vagina just sticking out at the president?
So secure.
God. But they have no idea. I don't it's absolutely
They
mind-boggling
know.
to me. Yeah.
They know exactly what
The
happened.
truth is probably facts, Marco. They know facts, Evan. It's all a sense of diversion, and who cares?
It's literally another Tuesday, and it just
Someone
got
lost their
out.
Coke from
Yeah.
Saturday.
Someone
Someone
just
lost their coke.
But the only difference is now there was a news story about it because some fuck saw it. And That's it.
The idiot political opponents who are like dying on this hill, those like, what about the drugs in the White House?
Yeah,
It's like, well,
drugs!
what about the thousands of people innocently dying in the Ukraine-Russia war?
Wow. Yeah, that is a good point.
Is that really your
Wow.
priority right now? Like, it's just
Yes.
fake politics pretending to be two parties.
Now that we could get deep with this. We could get ancient with this because it really is. It's maybe diversion, but it's also this sense of what do they call it? Virtue signaling in a way. You obviously know you're selling weapons to like a war to kill thousands of people, but drugs in the White House? Is this just a diversion?
What I really want to know is what else they got in the White House.
Yeah, what else is there? What
It's
did
not
they not
stopping at
find?
Coke.
Probably
That's
did
right.
happen, too. I don't think anyone's denying that.
Yeah, sure.
But like, is Coke really? It's not
Hot
like
take.
it's not like one of those things where you're affecting the entire family with your Coke problem.
Yeah,
you know?
drug
It's just
habits.
that family's
Probably
already
is.
gone.
Yeah,
To
I
be
mean, he
honest.
probably is
Sure.
affecting the family
Of the person who is
of
taking
this unnamed person.
But the average person, like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not affecting my family by you doing coke.
Yeah.
Unless you directly, I guess. are in
You
charge
drug
of the
apologists are no good. We need to use that money to send to Ukraine for tanks. All right. Oh, speaking of which, did you guys see Tucker kill Mike Pence?
I heard something about it. No. What was that about?
There was a murder. So let's get briefly political.
God save the Queen, man.
That's an important part. Don't forget it. God save the Queen, man.
God
He
bless
did
her.
that in Connecticut too, actually. Just funny. Oh, whoops. Yeah.
We'll get
Now we're
there.
political.
We're getting there.
So now we're political, right? What's it called? So Tucker's got a new job. He's not at Fox anymore, as we all know, but he started a show on Twitter, not directly getting some money from Elon, so he says. That dude is huge. He is the number one dude. He's ginormous. Everybody knows Tucker. But he held a little debate recently, and of course, the only one to not show up is our boy DJ Trump. He had the wherewithal
funny.
to not.
DJ.
Yeah,
I never
DJ Trump.
realized that.
Oh, that's when the beat plays again. Dun, 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 dun. DJ Trump did not show up because he had the wherewithal. He knew that. What is he at? 60% in the polls? This guy's killing it right now. He
Higher,
doesn't
I
need
think.
to embarrass himself.
Like 70, 80s.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah, forget about it. So Tucker had some fun. He got to be let off the leash a little bit and get back into his old role of interviewing. And a few fun things happened, like this clip we're about to see now.
Sorry, Mr. Vice President, have you, I know you're running for president, You are distressed that the
What a piece of
Ukrainians
shit.
don't
Thanks
have
for noticing.
enough American tanks. Every
You could
city
turn down
in
the
United States
master.
has become much worse over the past 3 years. Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States, and it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. And yet, your concern is that the Ukrainians,
You ready?
a country most people can't find on a map,
This is it.
received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern.
Stop the video.
Whoa.
It's none of my concern. Dog, your job
Damn.
as a politician is to lie. That's your job, is to lie to the American people and make us feel safe.
That's so
And when
bad.
he's talking about America, it's getting hot in here. When you talk about America as the potential American president, I mean, I'm sure he just misspoke.
Can you just imagine like all the people that like are listening to it in his ear, just like he says it, just like
Fuck you, yeah, everyone who's in
Everyone
charge of the
just
Pence campaign.
quits,
No,
just
no!
puts everything down. Like fuck.
Shut up! Say something else. Fix this.
I'll give a comedic point to Marco.
Oh, that was pretty good. Yeah, that was a fun scenario.
Yeah, they're probably freaking out in the green room.
Oh my God, no!
This fucking idiot. You
There has
just said
been
you
a
don't
murder
care about
committed.
the voter
Yeah.
quite explicitly.
Dude, like how messed up is that? There's been this theme recently of saying the quiet part out loud, and he straight up said it. He's just talking about Ukraine. And there was another one, I probably didn't bring up the clip, but this other senator nobody knows about or cares about, Tucker asked him, how many vaccines did you take? He's getting real because he's not with Fox News anymore. He could ask these questions now again, so he's off the chain. And the dude turns right to him and says, how many vaccines did you take, Tucker? Bro, I'm not running for president. I asked you because I'm interviewing you,
Yeah.
so you could tell the people who want to know this stuff. It was
What
the same
about
thing with
you,
What about you?
Tucker?
He was using 2-quoque, which is a logical fallacy. Number 4. I just called it 4. I just made that up now. There's no numbers to them. But it is a logical fallacy. He turned it right on Tucker. Dude, and my whole point about this is that politics has become like a fucking recess schoolyard, a bunch of 6-year-olds.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on? What about you? I bet you're gay. Yeah, I fucked your mom last night. Like, what? What is going on? But you have to be classy
burn.
about it. Ooh, gotcha.
Watching that
Murder.
clip, I feel like Tucker pressed him to the point where like he just got mad and just like said the first thing. I was like, yeah, just
I
like
think
fuck
that's
you.
it.
I don't
Yeah.
care. He like actually got under your skin a little. I feel like
sure.
it made him just slip up.
And
was
how
over.
foolish, dude. You're not supposed to slip up. You're running the world. You got to have a cool temper.
Yep.
You got to have adrenaline control. You got to know what you're saying.
You're trained
You're
for
not
that.
everybody else. You're supposedly supposed to train for that.
Supposed to be laconic.
Deep.
Sorry.
You got it. Almost.
No,
Almost.
concise and to the point.
I can't.
Damn.
Oh, he was very laconic.
In just a very negative way, I suppose.
He very explicitly said, "I don't give a damn about
no.
the American."
Oh, Mike Pence,
people."
yes.
What a president should be.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. I'll give it to you.
But
I'll give it.
yeah, I think maybe along with the frustration, these people, Pence included, just know that it's over. Like there's no fooling anybody. At least
Why'd you even show up is my question.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta know it's over just by reading those polls. Or do you think you're gonna say something so badass that's, oh, Trump, burn, you're nobody anymore. Who? Mr. Who?
the first sentence. Do you remember? He's like, "So, Vice President Pence, I hear you're running for president." Oh well, thanks for noticing.
Yeah, he goes, thanks for no. He's already having
He's
an
already being
attitude.
a pompous piece of shit.
Granted, Tucker was probably already grilling him before that, but like, yeah, what the hell is going on?
You're supposed to be cool-headed. You're not supposed to be mad first in a debate or an interview.
I don't get it. I seriously think this is cocaine at the White House. This is
Maybe it's
absolutely.
Pence's cocaine.
Dude, it was Pence's cocaine. We figured it out. Give me my cap. Give me my hat back. It was Pence's cocaine. Where'd that Snow White hair come from? He should be the new Snow White. That
Went right to his
cocaine.
follicles.
Tried to make a joke about snow and cocaine. It half worked anyway. But yeah.
He's a Christian, though.
Yeah, he's a Christian. The Pence rule, man.
Yeah.
Don't be alone in a room with a woman unless it's your wife. Deep.
That's like really damning. Like the religion thing. If you want to call yourself a Christian, you should never say it's not my concern. Like people are not my concern.
Yeah, ridiculous.
You probably should not say that because now everyone. If you had any voters to begin with, now you have no voters. So now I understand what you mean when you said he killed Mike Pence.
Oh, there was a murder committed on stage. Maybe it was even suicide a little bit too. But
fucking eviscerated.
You can't let that happen. Tucker is pushing you on edge, and this is what we need out of our reporters. Reporting is dead. News is dead. He's actually asking the real questions that people want to know. And the fact that these guys, these random nobody senators, showed up. Like, what did you think? That's what I want to know.
Shouldn't even show
what the fuck are you thinking? That if you're going to say something, granted, maybe in some universe, if I showed up, I'm running for president, I would have something in my head that I'm going to blow Tucker out of the water. I'm going to say something that nobody's ever heard before. Maybe it'll shoot me up above Trump, because Trump got famous by saying the stuff he wasn't supposed to say. The deep state, whatever the globalists don't want to hear. Oh, hell yeah. Damn, we're cruising through this. This is fucking sick.
Yeah, I truly just think that these people are, I really just don't think they care anymore. And you have nothing to lose anymore because everyone knows Pence is a fraud and people who wanted...
But what goes on in your head that you even show up? You know what I mean?
He was just...
You show up. And Pence you actually know because he... Oh, deep, right?
6-year-old mentality. It's like, I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
I banged your mom last night.
Yeah,
like, that's what he thought he was going to
up.
accomplish by showing
Probably
up.
just told to do it by someone because they need to get more
Someone's giving him a massage.
funding.
You got this, Pence. Trump's a pussy. What?
Paycheck up here, yeah.
Oh, paycheck. I had this idea a few years ago that maybe it's as simple as like, the book deal.
Yeah.
Could it be so simple? Could it be so simple?
Arkham's razor, right?
Right, absolutely. And the fact that you're still showing up to these things, it's the old phrase, there's no bad press, I think is a huge one. And that's very modern in a sense too. It's eternal, but
you're gonna have to do some serious jumping through hoops to convince me that's not bad press.
Deep.
I don't know if I could argue. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty deep.
I mean, usually I've never seen bad press, right?
Right.
Like how do you say, I want a president who doesn't give a fuck about America. Yeah, 100%.
You could argue at least he was being honest.
So I guess that's true. Wow, deep.
We already knew he didn't care.
So the philosopher in me would have to define press, but like, I don't know, maybe that's getting too deep. Like, what is it? Something that you want to get out there? Is that something that causes people to talk? Because if it's something that causes people to talk, he just shut everyone up.
I guess.
He just buried himself 6 feet under. There's no more press for Mike Pence. He's gone. He's part of the past.
Maybe it's good.
You killed yourself, dog.
Maybe it's good press if you can stay cool, calm, and collected and just be neutral, but he didn't do that. That's when it turns into bad
Deep.
press.
I like that, right? Because I especially now, it feels very real that you could say almost anything. And 50% will love you, 50% will hate you, right? It feels very modern. You could call it political. You could call it whatever, masculine, feminine. But it doesn't feel like press to me. The reason I'd have to redefine press is that he just said, running for the United States of America, President, Commander-in-Chief, fuck America.
Yeah, maybe not even.
He canceled both sides. That's not even press. That's just suicide.
That's just bad advertising.
Yeah.
It's not press at all. It's just bad advertising. It's like you just nuked your product. Your product is yourself.
Right, because, I could sit up here and say, like, women belong in the kitchen. And I believe that. I do. But half people are going to hate me. Half people are going to love me because it's a take. It's an original hot take. But maybe not original, but... it's a hot take, I'll tell you that much. But so that's interesting, redefining of press. But God, I bet he's like, oh, I misspoke. You're skewing my... Dude, the first time I saw that, I thought it was an edit.
Yep.
Did you not think like, no, someone's trying to make Pence?
Have said that.
That's what happened, dude. On my mind, it doesn't really comprehend. I don't know. Oh my God, my friend. We did challenging theology. Oh, I got to do my Tao Te Ching real quick. Sick. Let me give a little intro, because this might be the big one. And you guys could tell me what you feel afterwards. But so, weird shit, everybody. I have taken upon myself to study the ancient Chinese text of the Tao Te Ching. And I am going on a journey, and I'm taking you with me. I am going to find my own translation from what I think the text is trying to say. Now, it's a very unique text because it's not even just in Chinese, it's in ancient Chinese. And the reason I brought up the word laconic today is because the Chinese is laconic. A character means so many things and can mean so many things. And you have to really think about the spirit of what it's actually saying. And I see so many translations that are paragraphs and paragraphs breakdown. I feel like that's so Western. Coming from like this Eastern source, why do we even try to translate it at all? So here's my attempt. This is Mitch translating the Tao. No, I think "haw" is Japanese. I think Chinese is
Yeah.
they're a little more high pitched, you know.
Fuck me.
Am I right? Am I right?
You're right.
All right. Here we go. So this is chapter 1 of the Tao Te Ching, Mitch's translation. The Tao is not the Tao, for a name is not eternal. The nameless is the beginning. The named is the mother. Desireless, it can be seen. Desiring, it is missed. These two differ in name, yet together they emerge. Their likeness a mystery, the gate of all wonders. Any thoughts?
Just the first part sticks out to me. The Tao is not the Tao. I guess much like anything, a word is just a word until we manipulate reality to create a physical representation of a word.
Right. It's also intangible.
Room.
Yeah.
Just looking around the room, the speakers beside you, the cameras we're using, really just words until we create something in the physical world to...
The Christians say we speak it into existence, right? Like God is the Word is with God. It's like I've always taken that we say it, we speak it to existence, we give it a meaning. Perhaps that could be in the sense of religion, original sin and the apple or whatnot, but we have to say it for it to be real. Why is there so much power behind what is said? And also it's inverse, the opposite power, because the two things we're talking about here, I believe to be desire and desirelessness. It could be seen, it can be missed. It's meant to be seen and missed. And together they emerge.
I just can't help but go back and think about the good and evil thing we were talking about earlier. They always emerge. They can't possibly be
Together
exclusive.
they emerge. That's deep. So the ancient Chinese, the sort of Eastern idea is that they emerge. So I was going to bring that up earlier too. Like this is all Western and all Western monotheism. That's the Abrahamic traditions that say God created everything good. But in a lot of Eastern traditions, they don't even have God per se. They have spirit of nature. Hinduism has multiple deities that represent different things. And I would argue in a lot of ways that's more akin to life being archetypal, that things take over certain spirits. Because why can't it emerge together? I don't need to be wishful thinker. I want to take a slice of philosophy and say, fuck you, I don't care about your dogma, I'm going to think for myself, but also feel the story within my heart that says God is real and he's within me, but I'm not going to fear it anyway. Just because the bad comes with the good, I'm going to choose the good and I'm going to go farther. And I guess that's what I was going to say before about your statement, Evan, the story. I finally remember that the good comes from within. You know, you create these things and we have godly moments. Don't forget that phrase. Like when you said the vibe statement. That's what I was going to bring up before. You have a moment that God speaks through you. Like you were talking about spirits and angels. I knew it'd come back to it. It hit me. But it's so true. When you are pure, when you're a flow, when you are yourself, there's a magic to it and people can see it. And maybe that's manifested in an angel or, you know, people seeing the Lord within you. But when you're on your flow, and And even if you have to think about it, even if you take a minute, even if you stutter just as I did, you're still with it because the Word was with God. The Word creates existence. The desire, the desirelessness, they emerge together. What?
That's my fault.
Any thoughts, Marco?
I'll take it down 97.
Surprisingly, no. I think you guys kind of just covered everything really nicely.
Damn, man.
This is first
Shit's
for me.
deep.
I'm kind of just. No, I enjoy you guys explaining that one for me.
Hell yeah.
The flow or the vibe that comes from within. I think that flow is the vibe, and I think you can experience that from different people at specific times. But sometimes feeling that flow and giving the vibe is draining on that person too.
Yeah.
So it's like I always bring it back to women.
Dude, so women, it's like, where are you coming from, right? I heard many philosophers, and I must agree, including Jung, that talk about the woman as the nature of chaos.
Yeah.
They have no order, but they are, the evil, but you'd have to define evil as a bad thing, which is funny because they seem so intertwined in our modern vernacular. But perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's just the nature of chaos, that you can't control everything, and God is more in a higher order of control, and that the good, namely the order, is more of the masculine, more organized thinking, better at systems, structures, building, creating.
The vibe.
Protecting the vibe, if you will. And, man, yeah, that's fucking deep, dog. And with that, this brings an end to episode 18 of Ancient Wisdom. Woo. Evan, who won?
Well, it appears to be me.
Oh.
I swear.
I swear. Look at the chart. Look at the chart. All right.
It says 3.
So as a special prize, I would have spin the wheel for Evan to see what he won.
Oh my God.
What's it gonna be?
What will I get?
What's it gonna be? Black or white? It's never gonna stop.
What was
That was really weird. I reached out and it beeped at the same time. I didn't think the chronograph had a... So you're gonna have to check that out, Evan. I think it actually has the limit.
That's its cap, yeah.
Wow.
99, 59,
99? Okay, one more reason to
and
stop
that's when you touched it?
100 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. That was like...
Order out of chaos.
And there you have it, folks. Evan wins nothing tonight.
Well,
because that's chaos.
Do you have the list? I was actually thinking about this.
What do you mean?
Do you have the list of what's going to go on the wheel?
We could talk about it right now after we get off the show. I have the list, yeah.
Just tell Siri to roll 8-sided die and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 or whatever.
Oh God, I mean, I don't have it.
If you want,
ready, but
I only don't have to do that.
That's right.
You tell chat. Well,
we have to. I could do that.
The wheel is a work in progress, everybody. We're trying to do a fun game stuff, but it's the first show. This has been Ancient Wisdom. No, I gotta say my line. Break the conditioning and return to Ancient Wisdom.
You owe me a prize, by the way.
Chaos is nothing.